We're back for our daily MLB Best Bets here on Saturday, September 13th. We've got all 30 teams playing today with Major League Baseball, and of course, we found our 5 best bets for this entire slate. Let me get this out the way before I start the video. Guys, the Cincinnati Reds are the biggest disappointment in Major League Baseball history. I'll get to them later in the video, because trust me, we'll have something for that game. I can't believe what I witnessed last night. 0 for 12 with runners in scoring position, 0 for 13 with runners in scoring position. I could not believe my eyes. We will get into that later in the video, folks. Before we get into it, though, make sure to hit that subscribe button down below for some more daily MLB Best Bets here on the channel. Also, later today on the channel, we are going to have our NFL Best Bets. Not just our Best Bets, are also Best Player Props. So 2 NFL videos coming out later today on the channel, probably at noon. We're going to have our NFL Best Bets, and around 4-ish, we'll have our Player Props. Also, college football today, Best Bets and full predictions have been posted on the channel as well, along with our UFC no-J predictions. That is later today as well. Diego Lopez, John Silva in the main event. Again, go make sure to check out all those videos across our 2 channels. Hit the subscribe button for both the channels as we get on to the first of our 5 best bets today for Major League Baseball. Really trying to get back on the right track. We're going to kick things off with the Tampa Bay Rays again. Okay. Rays yesterday get out to a 3-0 lead at Wrigley Field, then proceed to score 1 run. So let me rephrase this. The Rays put the first 3 guys on board against Matt Boyd and the Chicago Cubs. Chris Morel, in his first ever game back at Wrigley Field as not a member of the Chicago Cubs, takes Boyd yard at the 3-run shot. Rays start the game 3 runs up, 3-0, my goodness, without giving up a single out. They then proceed to score 1 more run with the next and remaining 27 outs they are given. They lose the baseball game 6-4. Okay. When I'm telling you, when I say that the Rays are so due to win a baseball game, I mean it. Okay, the Rays have now lost 6 out their last 7 games, and they are right there in terms of unlocking their offense and unlocking their bats. There is not a better game for them to do so against Colin Rea. Colin Rea this season with a 4.2 ERA, and he's a guy that's not going to go deep into games, and he's going to give up runs. At max, he's going to go 5 innings. This is, for the most part, a guy who you're going to be able to put the ball in play against. Yes, he will. Again, he will punch you out at times, but not a guy who has a great ERA this season, a very hittable pitcher, and a pitcher that the Rays should be able to get back in the swing of things against. And the main reason we're going Tampa Bay today is Drew Rasmussen. Obviously, the first-time All-Star in 2025, Rasmussen has had a career season this year, posting a 2.64 ERA so far in the month of September. 2 starts, 10 innings total. He's given up 3 runs. All 3, though, took place in that Mariners game on the second. Last start against the Cleveland Guardians, a game that the Rays ended up losing because they could only score 1 run. But Rasmussen in that start goes 5 innings, 3 hits, and 0 runs. I'm expecting a 6-inning performance today out of the All-Star pitcher for Tampa. I think he should be able to go 6 innings, giving up maybe 1 or 2 runs. Again, Chicago, I'm not going to dispute the fact that they have a good lineup. They have guys who are going to go out there and make an impact. I mean, you saw yesterday, right? Michael Busch, Ian Happ, 2 guys at the top of the lineup, both contributed in huge ways. Even Dansby Swanson at the bottom of the lineup, right? Nico Hoerner had a pretty big game as well. I get that PCA is still struggling mightily. Average now down to 249 for PCA, who struck out 3 times yesterday and again went over. Crazy. But there are still a lot of good bats in this lineup up and down, I understand. Just a lot of missed opportunities yesterday for the Rays, though. I mean, hell, look at that spot. I believe it was in the 4th inning, last inning that they scored. They put runners on first and second with no outs. Everson Pereira gets picked off at first base, and I get it. Boyd picks off more runners than pretty much any other starting pitcher in baseball right now, and he's got a nasty move over to first base, but you just can't get picked off in that spot, especially against a guy who you know is going to try to pick you off at first. I think the Rays are going to be much better in this spot. Again, straight pitching matchup goes, right? Drew Rasmussen, Colin Rea. This does benefit Tampa so much. I mean, obviously, right? You got a 2 ERA pitcher going for them, and you got a guy who has a 4.2 ERA going for Chicago. And additionally, too, I just feel like the Rays lineup is really close to just having a big night. And I think that is going to be today, right? Yesterday, it was Morel who did all the heavy lifting. I mean, Nick Fortes had an RBI single in the 4th inning, but that was about it. I mean, this lineup, again, I'm not going to tell you, oh, they're too good to not be performing, well enough, because, again, they're not, and, they're not a powerhouse of sorts. But, I mean, if you go 7 straight games without putting up big numbers, you are more than due. And, again, my mindset for this is They are more than due to break this big losing trend. And again, their offense has been bad. There's not a better pitcher, in my opinion, at least in this series, to get it going against than Rie, the 35-year-old righty, who's just going to give up runs. Right, 4 ERA in the month of August. Is that horrible? No, but again, just a hittable guy. ERA in July, 4. ERA in June, 5. It's a guy that you should be able to score against, and I believe Tampa should be able to score against him today. And also, Junior Caminado is so due. Extremely due. He's been beating the ball into the ground last 3 days. I think it's the turnaround today. And again, I expect Rasmussen to be shut down for Tampa as well. I'm going at Tampa Bay Rays money line to kick off the day. Again, I know second consecutive day I'm taking the Rays. I feel like they're right there though, and this is the perfect matchup for them. Give me Rays money line today at Wrigley Field plus 100 to beat the Chicago Cubs. On now to our second best bet of the video. We move to our Washington Nationals best bet of the day. I'm going to keep going Nationals money line. Yesterday it worked. They go down 3-0 early. It looks like all hope is lost until Brady House hits a solo home run. Then Dylan Cruz hits a 2-run bomb to give them the lead 4-3. And then Josh Bell again extends on that lead with a 2 RBI single. And then how about James Wood gunning out a runner at the plate to eventually win the game for the Nats in the top of the 9th inning, notching Jose A his 8th or 9th career save. If you want my full opinions on the Washington Nationals daily, Greedo plays clips on TikTok. I post every single day about them. But the Nats won yesterday, right? I think they're going to win again today. We had Brad Lord go on the mound for them. Did all right, gave up some runs early, but Lord really pulled through for us. Mitch Keller was good early until he wasn't, until the Nationals got to that bullpen, and that's, kind of been the story of the Pirates here. Great starting pitching, mediocre bats, mediocre bullpen, and that's why the Pirates are where they are at. Today, the pitching matchup is Bubba Chandler versus Andrew Alvarez. I think Alvarez has been pretty good so far this season. 2 career starts, right? He gets called up from AAA Rochester. The Nats are 2-0 on Andrew Alvarez starts. He is only 1-0 as the pitcher of record, but his first start on September 1st against the Marlins are on Labor Day, 5 innings, 1 hit, 0 runs. Then he has to go to Wrigley Field, goes 4 2/3 innings, 3 hits, and 2 runs. Nats won that game in Chicago 6-3. They win the game against Miami 2-0 on Labor Day. Bubba Chandler is pitching today for the Pittsburgh Pirates. Highly touted prospect, 22 years of age, a guy who has just struggled. He has. First 2 appearances in August, they start Bubba Chandler out the bullpen in Pittsburgh, does all right. Fast forward to September 2nd against the Los Angeles Dodgers. That is not an easy team to go out there and pitch against, but they bring Bubba Chandler out the bullpen for that Dodgers game after Connor Moldinsky gets the first 2 innings. Chandler goes out there, 4 innings, 6 hits, 3 runs. I get it's the Dodgers, and then you look at his next outing, against the Milwaukee Brewers. They ended up starting Bubba Chandler for his first ever career start. At home, he gives up 4 runs in the first inning. He goes 2 2/3, 9 hits, and 9 runs with 3 walks. So this is going to be career start number 2 today for Bubba Chandler, and the first ever career start for him on the road. I don't like it. I don't. And I know the Nationals lineup can be horrible some nights. Hell, they really struggled early yesterday against Mitch Keller. They are the Nationals. I completely understand that. Bubba Chandler, though, is still getting into the swing of things as a major league player. And also, they bring him up to be a relief pitcher, or they start him in the bullpen. They give him 3 outings there, and they're like, all right, we're going to brand new start. You're going to be a starting pitcher. Doesn't do all that well in his first ever career start. I think it's still going to be difficult for him in his second career start. I think the Nationals are going to be able to jump on Bubba Chandler in this one. I do believe that, especially, a lot of good lefties in the lineup. It's a difficult start for Chandler. Yes, you can look on paper, it's the Nationals. The Nationals suck. Oh, they do. But still, Bubba Chandler in his second career start has to see C.J. Abrams, James Wood, Josh Bell, Dalen Lyle, first 4 batters of the game. That is 4 left-handed hitters. And then Riley Adams probably in the 5, Dylan Cruz in the 6th, That's still difficult, though. And I'm telling you, those first 4 guys, and I know DC went yard yesterday, Brady House went yard, and obviously you're going to see Robert Hassel probably in the lineup as well in the 9 spot, as RH3 has been improving out of the 9 spot as well, playing center field. It's difficult for Bubba Chandler, though, right? I mean, you are getting a lineup that is built to face right-handed pitching. I can't forget about Luis Garcia as well, who was this close to breaking the game open before Dylan Cruz hit the home run. Luis Garcia almost ripped the ball down, or barely fouled down the right field line. Could have been a bases clearing double to give the Nationals the lead before the Cruz home run. It's a difficult lineup. because you are legitimately going to see 5 lefties to start the game. Abrams, Wood, Bell's a switch hitter, but that's a lefty. Dalen Lyle, Luis Garcia. Oh boy. I just think it's difficult for a guy who his last start went 2 2/3 innings, 9 hits, 9 runs. Andrew Alvarez, the lefty, I think can be really serviceable against the Pirates. I know Pittsburgh was scoring early yesterday against the Nationals, and, these guys that you may have never heard of, I'm kidding. I know who Jared Triolo is, I know who Spencer Horowitz is, but, I'm not relying, and obviously I would never bet on the Pirates in this spot here, but if I was, who am I relying on to hit against Andrew Alvarez? Jared Triolo, Spencer Horowitz, Brian Reynolds, who's had a career worse year, Andrew McCutchen, Nick Gonzalez, and O'Neill Cruz, lefty-lefty. I mean, the bottom of this Pirates lineup, they're batting Ji-Hwan Bae, who did get robbed of an extra base knock thanks to Dylan Cruz, but they're batting Ji-Hwan Bae, Cam Devani, the 28-year-old. They're batting York. It's just I don't know what's going. Henry Davis still bats every single day for this team. Come on now. Andrew Alvarez has been solid in his first 2 starts. He's part of this 6-man Nationals rotation, and I think he has a good 3rd career start against just a bad lineup. And I think Bubba Chandler struggles on the road with a lefty-heavy lineup with the Washington Nationals. Give me Nats money line today at home against Pittsburgh for the 2nd consecutive day. Yes, we are siding with the Nationals, actually 3rd consecutive day. Nats minus 120 at home against the Pirates on Dylan Cruz bobblehead day as well. Just saying. On now to our 3rd best bet of the video, we move to our daily NRFI. Let's go to Truist Park. Truthfully, this was the only NRFI I liked today, so I'm glad the odds worked for us at minus 130. Every other NRFI that I saw, didn't really like, except for a game being played in California later, but you'll hear about that in a second. There's a reason we're not going to that for a NRFI. You'll hear why. The NRFI today for me, again, is Braves Astros. I just like the 2 starting pitchers tonight. I like Hunter Brown. I think Bryce Elder's been pitching really well recently. You look at what Bryce Elder's been doing in the last month for the Atlanta Braves. Look at his last 4 starts. Bryce Elder has given up 4 runs in his last 4 starts. For a guy who has struggled all year long, don't get me wrong, with a 5.35 ERA, recently he's been great. So far in the month of September, Bryce Elder is posting a .68 ERA. Sure, both starts are against the Chicago Cubs, but on September 3rd at Wrigley Field, he goes 7 innings, 4 hits, and 0 earned runs. And in his last start against the Cubs, he goes 6 1/3, 5 hits, and 1 run. You're going to take that out of Bryce Elder, a guy who, yes, has struggled throughout the course of the season, but you look at his last 2 starts in the month of August, 6 innings, 3 hits, 2 runs against the Mets, and in a 2-1 loss to the Phils, he goes 7 innings, 3 hits of 1-run baseball. Bryce Elder's been pitching fairly well right now. And yes, he faces a Houston lineup that is a playoff team that, scored 11 runs yesterday against the Atlanta Braves. I get that. And as well yesterday, Zach Cole hits a home run in his first ever career at-bat. 4 RBI day yesterday and a 3-for-4 day for Zach Cole in the first ever career start for him. Insane stuff. However, he bats in the 8th spot, so he's not going to be part of this NRFI. Bryce Elder's matchups are going to be Carlos Correa, Yordan Alvarez, Jose Altuve, and then probably Jesus Sanchez. Okay, Carlos Correa has been really good since being traded for a bag of chips over from Minneapolis over to Houston in his 2nd stint as an Astro. Yordan Alvarez, great hitter, went 0 for yesterday, so that's going to be a little bit of a struggle. And then Altuve, who was good yesterday, hit a home run. Not a guy I'm too concerned about, though, with the NRFI especially, though. So my biggest fear, I think, is by far Yordan Alvarez. You get righty-righty matchups with Bryce Elder against both Carlos Correa and Jose Altuve. The matchup for me that concerns me, of course, is Yordan. If we're able to get past Yordan, though, in the top half of the first inning, I feel pretty good about the bottom half of the first inning because we get Hunter Brown. With the exception of 1 start, since August 1st, Hunter Brown has been lights out. That one start I'm talking about is a start against the Colorado Rockies, oddly enough, at home at Minute Maid Park, or Dalen Park, whatever they call it now. It's still Minute Maid to me. Hunter Brown against the Rockies goes 6 2/3 innings, 6 hits, and 6 runs. Even though actually 2 of them were only earned, but it's okay, right? That's the only outlier in his entire month of August and now on to September. So as a whole, the earned run average for Hunter Brown in August, 1.67. Last start in Arlington at Globe Life against the Texas Rangers, Hunter Brown goes 6 innings, 4 hits, and 0 runs. I doubt he gives up a run in the first inning against this very mid Braves lineup. That's putting it lightly. 1, 2, 3, 4, Profar, Olsen, Acuna, Baldwin. Acuna's struggling. I know he went in yard yesterday What are the odds a struggling Ronald Acuna goes yard in back-to-back nights? Pretty low. Jerkson Profar, he can get it done, but, not on the roids anymore. Matt Olson, always a power threat, but, I will comp Matt Olson kind of to Yordan Alvarez, right? Very good lefty in the middle of the lineup that sure we should be concerned about. But if we can get past him, I'm feeling pretty confident. And then there's Drake Baldwin, one of the front runners to win the National League Rookie of the Year. I think it's going to go to Cade Horton, but still, that's a guy that, sure, he's a great hitter. He's batting .270 this season, slugging at .433. That's a guy that maybe, again, we should be worried about. I'm going to take my chances, though, with an elite pitcher in baseball and Hunter Brown, a guy who posted the 3rd best earned run average in all of Major League Baseball this season, the 10th best whip out of any qualified starting pitcher in baseball as well, and a guy who would be considered and heavily considered for a Cy Young this year if it wasn't for the fact that, Tarek Skubal already has that one in the bag, essentially. And Garrett Crochet exists as well. I know Skubal got injured yesterday. It doesn't look good. I don't know what that means for him. He's probably definitely shut down for the rest of the regular season, but that doesn't, dispute the fact that Skubal basically already has the Cy Young 1 in the American League, unless Crochet goes out there and pitches a no-hitter in one of his last 3 starts. But Hunter Brown, again, don't let the fact that Skubal and Crochet are having generational type years, just, don't let that fact, distract you that Hunter Brown's having a great season, okay? 2.25 ERA. He should be able to go into Atlanta and get 3 outs, just like how I believe Bryce Elder should be able to get 3 outs at home against the Astros as well. Give me the NRFI today, minus 130 in Atlanta between the Braves and the Houston Astros. We go on out to our 4th best bet of the video. So the NRFI that I was considering taking that, I have a better bet for is here, obviously. The Los Angeles Dodgers' 2nd consecutive night in their rivalry series on the road against the San Francisco Giants. I'm going with the Giants again. And this is not an emotional play because of yesterday. It's not at all. The only reason we are doing this is because Logan Webb is pitching. I'm probably going to stay away from tomorrow's game with Robbie Ray and Tyler Glasnow pitching, but the San Francisco Giants have a legitimate chance to make the playoffs. They do. Look how much the Mets are struggling. Look how much the Reds struggle to hit the baseball. With or without runners in scoring position, they can't hit, okay? How do you score 0 runs in Sacramento against JT Ginn and company? And not just JT Ginn, he exited early with an injury. The bullpen, too, I'll get to that in a second. The Reds are a disgrace. And sure, the Reds and Giants are still equally as many games behind the Mets, because the Reds hold the tiebreaker and the Giants don't. So essentially, they're both a game and a half out New York. But they are right there. It is insane. I believe tonight the Giants are going to beat the Los Angeles Dodgers. I believe they're going to win it tonight. Pitching matchup alone really, really works in favor of the Giants, in my opinion. Logan Webb's going. Logan Webb, I know he struggled in his only outing this year at home against the Dodgers. It wasn't great, if I'm not mistaken. If my memory's serving me right, he did struggle a little bit when the Dodgers came to San Francisco earlier in the season. Yes, he did. 5 1/3 innings, 6 hits, 6 runs. The Giants still won that game, though. They won it 8-7. They put up a lot of runs at the same time. Yes, Webb was getting shelled. Dustin May, though, was going for the Dodgers, and the Giants win the game 8-7. But that's not the only sample size we can take from this year, and Logan Webb starts against the Dodgers. Let's go back now to June in Los Angeles. Logan Webb goes 7 innings, 2 hits, and 0 runs. 2 hits and 2 runs against the Los Angeles Dodgers. Giants win the game 6-2. So San Francisco is 2-0 this season in games in which Logan Webb starts against the Dodgers. Clayton Kershaw is going for Los Angeles this game. Obviously, Kershaw has he's been better. It's been a resurgent year for Clayton Kershaw in 2025. However, so far in September, he hasn't been the best. 2 starts in September. He's gone 5 innings in both of them. On the road in Baltimore, on the road in Pittsburgh. In Pittsburgh, 5 innings, 4 hits, 4 runs. In Baltimore, 5 2/3, 4 hits, 2 runs. That's fine. Again, that's serviceable. The problem is, who is he passing the baton to? Kershaw goes 5 innings, gives up 2 runs. Okay. Gives up 2, 3, 4 runs. Great. You put your team in somewhat of a position to win the baseball game. But who's coming out of that bullpen? We saw it last night. Sure, again, right, we've got decent guys, right? Dreyer did his thing, but then you get into the bottom of the 9th. Blake Trinan, sure, is the Luis Matos runner, is the error on bets, is that Trinan's fault? No. But Matos gets on, then here comes Devers, rips one to right field, and now you've got bases loaded. And sure, again, they get out the jam, but here now comes on to the bottom of the 10th inning, right? What a play made in right field to gun out the runner at third. I get that in the top half of the 10th inning, but here comes Tanner Scott. Tanner Scott's having the worst year of his career. He said it himself. Tanner Scott's ERA now, guys, is in the 5s after giving up that walk-off grand slam yesterday to Patrick Bailey. I'm telling you, just all the momentum right now is on the Giants' side. It is. They are winning baseball games, and they are consistently winning baseball games right now. And let's not forget about the fact that the Padres are still very alive to win the National League West. I know they lost yesterday too. It's only 2.5 games out. Giants played a really good game yesterday. Justin Verlander played a really good game yesterday. Didn't get his strikeouts, but it is what it is. He pitched 7 innings and gave up 1 run. It was a solo shot by Michael Conforto, of all people. I believe the Giants are winning tonight. I think Logan Webb is going to post a very good line. He's been good all year long, 3.12 ERA. I think the Dodgers are going to struggle in this third matchup this season against Logan Webb. And I think the Giants are going to do okay against Kershaw. I get it. They struggle against left-handed pitching. What I expect from this game, though, is going to be a low-scoring affair until Kershaw gets pulled. Once Kershaw gets pulled in that 5th or the 6th inning, I think the score is going to be, before Kershaw gets pulled or when he gets pulled, I believe the score is going to be probably 1-0, 2-0. 2-0, I'll say. And I don't think many runs are going to be scored after. I think this final score is going to be like 4-1 today. But I think it's a low-scoring affair that the Giants are able to win because I think Logan Webb, again, in a game where you could arguably say, like, this is your season. You know, I know every game kind of feels like that right now for the Giants because, you know, you are in this dead heat trying to chase and catch up to the New York Metropolitans while at the same time fighting off the Cincinnati Reds. I get that. But you don't get many games for the rest of the year where your ace is pitching. Your ace is pitching at home Saturday night against your rivals. You are doing everything you can to win this baseball game, and I believe the Giants will get it done. This lineup's hitting right now. Adames, Devers, the dynamic duo right now in San Francisco. We clowned the Adames signing for most of the season because of how poorly he's played. He's playing really good baseball right now. And the Giants need to continue to take advantage of the fact that the New York Metropolitans have lost 7 games in a row and might do it again today. I don't feel that great about the Rangers, though, because I believe Corbin's pitching tonight, right? And Corbin hasn't been great recently, so I'm not going to play that. But the Giants need to take advantage of these Mets L's, and at the very least, even if the Mets win today, they need to keep pace. So give me San Francisco Giants money line at home against the Los Angeles Dodgers, plus 100 for San Francisco to get it done at Oracle Park with Logan Webb on the mound. Our final best bet of the video comes from West Sacramento, California. I'm taking plus money here because I think it's too good a value to pass up on. Luis Severino over 5.5 strikeouts. I know I've said the entire season he is a much worse pitcher at home at Sutter Health Park. I get that his splits are horrible. He hates the city of Sacramento. He hates this ballpark. I know. He should still be able to get strikeouts, though. Last time Luis Severino pitched at home at Sutter Health Park was back in July 29th. Obviously, there's been, some time off. There's been some injury problems for Severino, but the last time he pitched in Sacramento against the Mariners, 5 innings, 5 hits, 1 run, and 6 strikeouts. I'm not going to take any historical backing here. I know his last start against the Angels in Anaheim, he pitched 5 innings and got 7 strikeouts. That's great. I don't care about any of that. What I care about is how pitiful the Reds lineup is. It is a joke of a lineup, especially for a team that is trying to chase and hunt down the playoffs right now. You do that last night. It's embarrassing. The A's beat the Reds yesterday off 3 solo home runs. Lawrence Butler hits one in the first inning, and then Carlos Cortez hits 2, one in the third and one in the 8th, giving the A's the victory 3-0. The Reds are in a playoff hunt right now. And you go 0 for 13, I believe, 0 for 12 with runners in scoring position. You leave 11 guys on base. One of the biggest jokes I have ever seen out of a playoff contending team. You strike out 14 times yesterday. Unbelievable. There was not a single guy in that lineup yesterday that did not strike out. Friedel struck out. Andujar struck out. Ellie struck out. Hayes give him 2. Ty Stevenson 2. Will Benson 2. Spencer Steer 2. Ke'Bryan Hayes 1. Matt McClain 2. Guys, the Reds had so many opportunities. First inning, runners on first and second, no outs, they get nothing. Those guys don't move. Second inning, after Lawrence Butler has a solo shot, Will Benson flies the ball into right field. It should have been caught. JJ Bleday loses it in the lights. Will Benson ends up on third. What happens? The Reds strike out 3 times in a row to end the inning. And it was nothing but that for the rest of the game. Brady Singer pitched a good game yesterday. 6 innings, 3 hits, 2 runs. He took the L because his team could not put together a single run. Top of the 9th, Reds get a last chance. Sean Newcomb comes up to pitch. Yes, Sean Newcomb still pitches in the MLB in 2025. 3 up, 3 down. Oh, by the way, all 3 strikeouts. Strikes out the side. What I'm getting to with all this is Luis Severino should dominate this lineup. I don't care where this is being played. I don't care it's in, the daunted Sacramento, California at Sutter Health Park. I don't care. It could be on Mars for all I care. JT Ginn yesterday, who is a mediocre pitcher, who had a 70 or 6 ERA at home in Sacramento this year, 4 innings before being pulled due to injury, 4 innings, 2 hits, walked 4 guys, but still found a way to 6 strikeouts. That's the magic number tonight for Severino. It's 6. I believe he's going to be able to do that. Look how pitiful the Reds lineup is. Usually, again, when I do strikeout props for pitchers, I look at a lineup and I'll tell you guys, okay, this guy's a strikeout potential. There's big strikeout potential with this guy. This guy could strike out. No. Everyone is on strikeout watch tonight for the Reds. Every single player is. They're all mid. They all can't put the ball in play. I don't know how they're here. I don't know how they won a series in San Diego. Oh, I know. The Padres suck too. Of course, the one day we don't play the Rockies, they score and beat the Padres. It's okay. It's okay. The Rockies are banned for the rest of the year. I don't want to go through that headache again. Luis Severino should dominate Cincinnati tonight. I don't care who wins the baseball game. I expect the A's to do so. Actually, Hunter Green's pitching. I'm not playing the money line either way just because I don't want to go through that. Actually, I think the Reds probably would win just because Hunter Green should shut down the A's at the same time. Like, this should be like a 2-0 victory for the Reds. Like, they get 2 runs in the bottom of the 8th, or the top of the 8th, like they did in San Diego. But don't play the money line. Play the pitching matchup here. Luis Severino will get 6 strikeouts. I don't care what the result is of the game. The Reds have too many guys who can strike out. And the Reds, again, they could see success. I doubt it, but they could see success. Like the Nationals, when they faced off against Severino in August, they scored 3 runs in 6 innings. Severino still had 5 Ks. I know we need more than that today, but again, the Nationals, they strike out a lot. Nobody strikes out right now more than the Cincinnati Reds. So Luis Severino over 5.5 strikeouts, and it's great value as well. We get plus money for this line for a team that struck out 14 times yesterday and 6 times in 4 innings to JT Ginn. Come on now. Luis Severino over 5.5 Ks. I know he's horrible at home. He's going to have to come through tonight. Here's one last thing I'll reference. July 11th, horrible start for Severino. 4 2/3 innings, 7 hits, 5 runs. He still finds a way to 8 strikeouts in 4 2/3 innings. He can get beat up tonight and still find a way to get strikeouts. Luis Severino over 5.5 Ks at home against the Cincinnati Reds. Folks, thank y'all for watching our MLB Best Bets here on September 13th. If you haven't yet, though, make sure to hit that subscribe button down below for more. Make sure to leave a like. If you did enjoy the video, make sure to comment if you do disagree with any of the picks. Folks, thank y'all for watching, and Mamba forever.